race day once again, and we are back for another week of TexSEF iRacing. I'm your one and only host, Wesley Shaw. I am joined by no one today. It is a lonely cast for myself here in the broadcast booth. We were not able to secure down a secondary caster today, so that is unfortunate on my part. Just bad scheduling here, but that is not going to stop us from having amazing racing. So I'm your host. I'm your one and only that you need. We're going to get underway here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about we're going to talk a little bit about the schedule really fast. So for the schedule, this is the second and last week here at Oulton Park. This is the back-to-back bonanza here at Oulton Park in the UK. Just in these rolling hills, these amazing British curves here going on here at Oulton Park Circuit. It is the international layout without the Hislop. So this is the third from last round. That's right, we only have 3 rounds, including this one. We have today, we have Friday. Then next week, we have South Boston Speedway, and we are exchanging the GT3s back to some short track showdown. We are going back to the street stocks. That is right. Some little, just a little bit of more fun for myself, a little bit more of a retro callback, back to the early seasons of the TexSEF iRacing League. So we're getting a little bit more comfortable with what we have going. Then for the last regular season round before we go off into playoffs is Summit Point Raceway, where we will end off in the GT3s. That's right, back into the GT3s for the 4th time this season. We started it and we're ending it in the GT3, so that is always good to hear. We are just about underway, so we're going to go ahead and hop into the live section here. We'll hop over into the live and we'll get a look here of the cars lined up. We have Science Academy, we have 3 Lubbock cars, big Lubbock show out today, and we have Ridgepoint. Ridgepoint's always a very good contender here, especially here at Oulton, especially the past couple of weeks here, and all season. So we're going to see just what happens with them today. Just a minute and 30 until we are underway, until we are going for green flag, getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit of a last second run here. So really unfortunate to say on my part, but that is okay. That is not going to stop us from making some very big moves, very big sins here today for the last week at Oulton. This is the last week here in Britain and the last week that we're going to be having some overseas fun. So underway here under the pace lap car. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. Just a little bit. Big majority of the Porsches here with a McLaren, a Corvette, and a Mustang. So couple of American cars, couple of Germans, and the 1 Brit. We only have 1 British standing today with that McLaren, and that seems to be Kian. That is Kian from Lubbock. So that's a very big standing here. We're going to see just what happens. Science Academy, Mr. Axel in the Porsche, heading off number 1, leading pole position here, number 43 in that green Porsche. We're going to see just how that start goes away. On his left side is Lubbock. We have Cy in the Corvette heading off 3rd place with Ridgepoint. Dylan, that is Kian in the McLaren spinning off. Not sure what's going on there, but with Lubbock ending off with Matt in the last position in the Mustangs. And we are about to go underway. Green flag flies, and we are racing here at Oulton. Nice clean turn 1. Porsche's all the way through. Science Academy's holding onto that lead here, leaving that Porsche in the dust. Porsche on Porsche action going on. Ridgepoint still holding 2nd. Got the Corvette dropping down to 3rd. Very big send from that Porsche to move up into the 2nd position here with the Corvette in 3rd place now. We have Lubbock, we have Matt, we have Cy, we have Kian heading off in the last 3 positions. So they're going to get the most points here today for their school. So biggest point of constructor battles here. But right now, Porsche leads, Porsche behind, Corvette 3rd, Mustang 4th, and a McLaren in last place. We'll see just what happens with that McLaren if it gets back underway and gets under racing here. But right now, looks like that Porsche from Science Academy is still going to hold it on strong and holding on as trying to get a lead built up here. If he can, that is all the good news for Science Academy. Science Academy still trying to get a point ahead in this lead. We are late into the season, but we are not over yet. Lots of running, lots of space here. 1.8 seconds the gap to Ridgepoint from Science Academy. 3.5 to Lubbock, and so on forth. That is a nice, clean lap 1-4 all around. All our drivers driving clean here. Nice big livery, nice dragon for that Science Academy car. Just kind of pointing back a little bit here. We're going to take a look at Ridgepoint with a bit of a Rexy callback. Rexy being the GT3 car. It's a green car traditionally in the real life GT3 series, but with Ridgepoint being a purple colors, a bit of a changeover to the purple here for Rexy. So not sure what we can call it, but Ridgepoint seems to be a good runner here. Still holding 1.8 seconds the lead to the leading Porsche. But not too far behind is Cy, going to be leading off last place on the podium here. Still trying to hold it on strong, get that comfortability with this Corvette. Corvettes are really strong. It's what I've raced in a bunch of sim racing leagues, so it's a really strong car, really tough debater here, tough fighter. So it's all up to the driver to hold it down and get as much time as he can to chase it down, get that spot back, and hold it. Nice flat plane V8 just roaring around the British hills here, but not too far ahead. That Porsche is starting to chase down his brother, Rexy, with that gold tooth and the purple car. Still trying to chase down that 1.3 seconds now to the Science Academy car. Not sure if that's just Science Academy running away with it early on in the game. We do have one required pit stop. You do need to make one required stop in this race to be able to finish without any penalties. So it is up to the drivers to figure out what happens in the next 31 minutes and 40 seconds. Not sure when, where, or how they're going to pit, but we know they are going to run down pit lane at least once. You see there in the background, look like Matt from Lubbock now crossing the start-finish here in that Mustang. Very big cross-plane V8 here running down the hills. Love the sound of that Mustang running around the track every point I can. I want to just listen to it all day long. Just to let you know, Matt from Lubbock with the Ave Maria is a big Christian. He is a very big Catholic, so he has a bunch of Latin all over the car. You see the Ave Maria, you see the Plena, you see Gratia, different parts of the Catholicism with his school logo there. So big props to him. Really proud of him. Really proud that he is proud of what he chooses to believe. Really proud of him there. Holding down in fourth. He needs to chase down third place. Needs to chase down his teammate here, Lubbock. Cy from Lubbock, sorry. Stumbling over myself constantly. But in the back of the pack, just a little early race spin off of the last turn before starting. That is Kian now running off into the wall. Not sure if it's a McLaren issue or what's going on. Runs across the track almost into the leader there of Science Academy. Not sure what's going on. McLaren seems to be having an issue. We don't know if it's a car issue or maybe it's a hardware issue. We're not sure. It may be even a software issue. Maybe the iRacing gods are not being very happy with the choices today with McLaren. McLaren being, I believe, the only British car on track. That is right. 2 Porsches, 1 Chevy, a Mustang, and a McLaren. So McLaren is the only British car here today. And I believe it is one of the only British cars besides the Aston Martin that you can make in the GT3 class. So not sure if it's just a bad choice on McLaren's part or bad choice hardware. We're not sure. We may be able to get a mask, may not. We'll never know. But right now, Science Academy still leads about 3 and a bit seconds to Ridgepoint. So really strong lead with 29.5 minutes to go. Not too far behind him is Ridgepoint. So really got to be careful about where he's going to put that car, because one little mistake, and that means Ridgepoint's going to take the lead and take it away from Science Academy. Science Academy still needing to put some more points on the board if he wants to rip this away from Ridgepoint. Ridgepoint's been really strong here the past few weeks, holding it down in both standings, Mondays and Fridays, just by himself here. So Lubbock really all the time to gain. 3 drivers to the 2 single drivers. Really need to see some strong performance out of Ridgepoint today if he wants to take home that win. And if Science Academy wants to win, we're going to have to see a very big performance from him as well. We've seen a lot of accidents between himself and other drivers, so a lot of just unfortunate circumstance, but that does not look like the point at the current moment for Science Academy. Science Academy still holding it strong, 2.8 seconds to Ridgepoint, so Ridgepoint is slowly crawling it back. Rexy is just tearing it away, trying to chase him down like a wild animal. 2 lizards, 2 dragons running after each other out on track, out here in the front. with some cars in the back. We have all the Lubbock cars. If I can get a hold of what their mascot is, I can tell you right now, I believe it is a Westerner, a cowboy. For Lubbock is a Western town. It is more west than where I'm from. I am from Midwest Texas. I'm from DFW, so I'm a cowboy in and of itself. But these guys are more of a cowboy than me. They are more west than I am. So that is for sure. So these guys are really wrangling it down, really holding it down as cowboys that they are. Big Westerners, big run in the Corvette. Really proud to see that one guy is repping the Corvette, something that I run personally. Kind of my favorite car in the GT3 class, being it a GM, General Motors manufacturer. Really proud to see that. Really proud to hear it run across this track with that flat plane V8. So we're going to see just where he turns out, if he's going to keep a hold of that podium or if he can run down Ridgepoint and Science Academy. We'll just see what happens here in the next 27 and a half minutes. But speaking of American makes, we're going to put you on board with Matt in the Mustang, another Lubbock Westerner, and we're going to get you a big look here and a very big, amazing sound of this American V8, and we'll be right on you. That was the Mustang from Lubbock, Mr. Matt in the Ford Mustang, brand new, nice and new. Not what I'm used to in terms of racing. So really big sends from the Lubbock car. Really proud to see him run like this. Always good to see him out every single week, Mondays and Fridays. I've seen him every week so far, so he's always a big contender. Very big in the points so far just for finishing. Really happy to see that coming from him in that GT3 car. Also really nice to see that just ahead, looks like Ridgepoint has been gaining a little bit. Also looks like he's maybe been losing a little bit. Now 5 seconds to the gap between himself and Science Academy. Not so nice to see for Ridgepoint is that Science Academy has taken the fastest lap. Now 4.9 seconds to the gap. Slowly crawling away, but we need Ridgepoint to crawl that gap if he wants to win, if he wants the points to take home. Just a big gap here that needs to be closed if Ridgepoint wants the points here. So we'll just see what happens within the next 22 minutes and 40 seconds. Some news that we have over Mr. Axel Medrano from Science Academy. He did take a go-kart camp when he was 10, so that was very big practicing sends from himself, knowing how to send the car exactly when and where and how. Being able to get down those G-forces and be comfortable with the car is a giant thing to know about go-karts. To transverse it to GT3s. So really big news to go from Science Academy. Some good news for him to know that he has a bit of a racing background. Taking a look back here at Mr. Kian in the McLaren, big sins in the British car, a little bit of denting from himself. Not sure if it was a hardware issue or if it was a car issue. We'll see just what happens. But some news about him on Kian from Lubbock. We have a little bit of a news from Kian that he is learning how to become a video editor. He's learning CGI and he is learning a bunch of big stuff. He's learning how to make video games, so he's going to be able to hop behind the car, hop behind the scenes, and be able to program his own stuff. So we'll see if we can't snag him for ourselves here in TexSEF, see if we can't get him to help edit our videos and whatnot. That'd be really great to hear from Lubbock, to see him behind the camera more. Get him to help out a little bit in his community. He's always a very big help. He always does everything he can, just like he's doing everything he can to wrangle this car to keep it on track. It is a big fight. Just some leftover damage from what looked like maybe some issues with the car. So just back and forth with this car, and a spin from Lubbock. Really unfortunate to see that from the Lubbock car. But going to another car, we have Cy, number 3rd place. We have the last of the podium, still running that Corvette, still running strong. Good to see him running that. I've said it before, and I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm proud to see another Corvette out on track. I'm not the only one. If I could race today, I would. If I was back in high school, I would race a Corvette. I love this car. I love it to death. So if I was still on the student side of TexSEF and I could be racing, I would be running the Corvette, just to let you know on that part. But speaking about racing with TexSEF, if anybody you know or yourself is interested remotely in any type of way in doing sim racing for your high school to represent for the esports, reach out to www.texsef.org. Again, that is www.texsef.org for anything you have, whether it's esports related or helping out in any other way. TexSEF being the Texas Scholastic Esports Federation. Huge help in the state of Texas, the #1 leading esports program. Ran by teachers for students. It is a non-profit organization. That is right. We do not make any money off of anything. This is all for the students. This is all for the benefit of the students to help get your reach out, get you better at esports, and get you the chance at being more accessible and being in more affordable. That is right. We make it more accessible and more affordable to all students, all teachers all around the state of Texas. Partnered with, I believe, NASEF, NASEF, the North American Scholastic Esports Federation. That is right. We are partnered with the National Society of it. We are a part of something bigger. So if you or anyone you know want to be a part of something bigger and be a part of esports in any type of way, check it out at www.texsef.org. Again, that is www.texsef.org. That is TEXSEF.org. Great federation, great organization I've been a part of, and I will continue trying to be a part as much as I can and help out. And just to let you know, if any kind of games you want, there's all kinds of games. There's this, iRacing, there's Rocket League, there's Overwatch, there's Valorant, there's Tekken, Street Fighter, you name it, 2K, Madden. Any game that is competitive that you can think of, 9 times out of 10, it is going to be either a part of TexSEF already, or if you are interested in helping create one, reach out and we can get you in and get you going here. As a part of the TexSEF iRacing, we thank you for watching. Thank you for your viewership, and we will continue watching this race go on. 18.5 minutes left on the clock here, just left to go here at Oulton at the International Circuit with the International layout without the Hislop. So after this chicane, it is one big run. Corvette running a little bit on the grass, a little bit of a lawnmower, but that is okay. He is still running on this big straightaway here at Oulton through the last little chicane here. That is right. That is the last Hislop right there. So he takes that sweeping right, starts going up the hill with another right into a sweeping left. I'll take you on board for an on-track here. We're going to hop on board the Ridgepoint car, and we'll give you a big little run here just to get you comfortable with what the car is doing. We'll put you right on board. A little bit of a grass cutter here. Really unfortunate to see that. Maybe just kind of taking the corner a little wide. Last little chicane here. Then onto the big straight here. We'll get you going, and we'll get you a full lap aboard. Give you a little bit of a lookie here of what that Porsche sounds like. Really good to always hear it. Nice Boxer 6-cylinder, I believe. I think this is a Boxer with the straight cut gears in that transmission. So that whining you're hearing is not me. It is the car. It is the transmission. Absolutely running down this straight for a big sweeping right-hander. And we will give you just a big little rundown here of Oulton. Cross the line here, and we will start a new lap here. Sweeping into a little bit of a left. You start braking right about here. Throw it into the right-hand side for this long right-hander. Got to shove it all the way to the left. Hold it right there. Start transitioning over a little bit over this hill. Start cresting. Come down. Brake a little bit. Toss it into this long sweeping 90R left. Down a hill. Back on the big straight here. Absolutely pedal to the metal. That foot is on the floor. Hold it until the corner cone here. Toss it to the left. Hold it. Hope it sticks. Hold it to the left side here. Get to about that green cone there. Toss it to the inside for this embankment here on this right-hander. Shove it to the left-hand side. Keep it there. Transition a little bit to the right on this corner here, right on that bumper curb. Through the chicane, toss it in. Try and just barely miss those barriers. You want to get within just a couple of inches. All the way back to the chicane. Come out to the right. Start transitioning to the left just over the hill there. 300, 200. 100 and a little bit of a brake on that second curb there, just to toss it through that very, very, very fast right-hander, through the bump, over the hill, up to the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, start tossing it into the left here to get that corner correct, and the long sweeping right-hander here, double right here, onto the last straight, under the bridge, big run here. Start braking just right there, right at that tree, toss it and hold it onto the right-hand side. And just make sure your tires don't touch that grass, and you are all the way through the last hill and up and across the line here at Oulton. And that is an average time of about 1:28. And speaking of 1:28 and average times, that is Ridgepoint taking the fastest lap. That is right. He has ripped it away from Science Academy. That is good news for Ridgepoint. Not best news for Science Academy. 8 seconds to lead to Science Academy. Looks like Cy and Matt have both have taken their pit stops. Looks like Kian is still in the pit stops. Maybe just a bit of a damage, maybe a race under there from some damage throughout the race. So really unfortunate to see for the Lubbock cars, but still 2 cars left. That is actually Cy being sideways. Speaking of, that Corvette is sideways. Not sure why. We'll take a look here at just what happened there. See if we can get onto that car and get on it just to see what just happened there. Comes out of the pits on cold tires, so he is now taking his pit. What happens here? Get a far chase on him. Just get a better view of the car here. Tosses it on the right-hander. Starts getting prepared for the lefter. And just cold tires. Just tried to send it a little too hard with those cold tires. Drifts it across the track. Trying to get underway. Leaves some dust on the track. So maybe a little bit of a Mario Kart move here to blue shell, maybe a banana on the track to get the other guys uncomfortable. But that is Lubbock back underway, back going. So we'll see just what happens throughout the rest of the race. There is just a few minutes left, 13, 14 minutes here left. Not sure just what is going on. But it looks like the Corvette is still running strong. Didn't look like he took any damage, so he's still running as fast as he can. Now a lap down because of that pit stop here. It is up to Ridgepoint and up to Science Academy to make their pit stops. I'm not sure when they're going to make that pit stop, but looks like Kian does have a black flag, probably because of that damage, maybe a bit of too much damage, but he would get a meatball because of that, so we're not sure. But speaking of, Ridgepoint goes off the track there, just a big send out of the big, long, sweeping right-hander there that's on the embankment through the chicane. Still really strong runs from the Porsches here. Seems like Porsche was the correct way to go in these GT3 cars. So that's good news on Ridgepoint and Science Academy's part. Unfortunate for my ears to hear and my mouth to say, because I want the Corvette to win. I can't be biased, but I want the Corvette to win. I don't care what school there are. I just want the Corvette to win. That's my personal preference. I just want the Corvette to win. Really unfortunate to say for myself as your average Corvette fan. You know, I'm in the Jort shorts, I'm in the jean shorts, I'm in the tank top, I'm with the New Balance and the belt and the tucked in shirt with the golfer hat. Of course, I'm your average Corvette fan, so unfortunate for my ears to hear that the Corvette is now a lap down, but still holding third. So as of right now, Ridgepoint takes second, Science Academy leads with Lubbock with Cy in that Corvette holding down third, the last place on this podium. Just unfortunate to hear for me, but good to hear for Science Academy and good to hear for Ridgepoint. Also good for Lubbock to hear as podium finishers at the moment, provisional podium. So good to hear for them, not good for me. Ten seconds the gap to Science Academy from Ridgepoint, just because of that little sender there. Just uncomfortable with the tires. Maybe the tires getting a little bit old. 11.5 minutes remain in this race, the last Monday race here at Oulton. And right now, Science Academy is taking home the cake. They do have it in the way. Looks like Matt is now in the pit lane, getting his provisional pit stop done. That's Kian now rolling away, getting his pit stop off. So that is both. I believe that is all three Lubbock cars now finished with their pit stop, so they have the last 11 minutes to run as much as they can. Lubbock to get all of his time back as he can, so not sure what's going on, but Ridgepoint and Science Academy, I believe, still have yet to pit. So it is up to these last two cars to hold that pace and hold it strong for the last 11 minutes of this race. Science Academy still leads with 12.5 seconds. That is the McLaren off with the cold tires. That is Kian off. That is just really unfortunate circumstance. Bad timing on the tires to go on his part. Really unfortunate to see that McLaren is not an easy car to handle. So I'm very impressed that he decided to remain with that choice through this race weekend here. To keep with it. It's a very tough car to handle, not very easy compared to these Porsches. These Porsches are a little bit easier to handle. 36 seconds. Looks like Ridgepoint is now in the pit lane, now just coming out of it. So he's done his pit stop now. So it's up to Science Academy to make his last little pit stop here, his scheduled stop. 10 minutes and some chump change here left in this race, and it's all on Science Academy on when he's going to pit. Will Science Academy pit here? I am not sure. He may just try and get a little bit of an overcut on the Ridgepoint car just to keep ahead as much as he can. Maybe with those fresh tires he can go for a fastest lap. 37 seconds to the second place car here from Ridgepoint, and that is all because of pit lane. Does he dive in? It looks like Science Academy does dive in. My correction, my prediction is correct. So I'm going to hold on to that one for a little bit. 25 seconds is the average pit time here. So that is Science Academy now going to dive it in, get his fresh tires, get him some, maybe a bit more fuel. So it's all on Ridgepoint to catch as much as he can. He sees that Science Academy is in the pit lane now. So it is up to him to chase down that lead and chase down the win here. Started from third, currently in second. If he wants that win, he's going to have to push as much as he can. But is Science Academy about to come out of the pit lane already, so that is all up to the Ridgepoint to get up there and get on his tail with the already warm tires. Science Academy going to have to hold it down with cold tires for a lap or two. Ridgepoint has the advantage right now. Science Academy going to get the advantage here in the next couple of laps with just one lap fresher tires. 8 minutes and 56 seconds left, and it is still up for grabs on that win. 16 seconds looks like the gap between Science Academy and Ridgepoint, and Lubbock is just a bit behind still on that unfortunate circumstance with the spin there. having to take damage and go back to the pit. So unfortunate to see for Lubbock. Still Lubbock taking the most points here, even though they are a lap down. They're taking the most points in the constructor standings. Very strong, very powerful viewership and showmanship from the Lubbock cars, being really headstrong and never wanting to quit. They're always out here, always racing. Even if they don't get the best hand of luck here at the tracks that we race, they're still here. They're still putting in the practice, putting in the time, putting in the placements here to get better and stay better. That is all what TexSEF is here for. We are here to help you get better and stay better at anything you choose in the esports field. If you want to get better at a game, we do everything we can to help you get there and help get you to the people that can help you as well. Looks like an injury to the Corvette there. Not sure what just happened. Looks like some damage for the Corvette. Not sure what's happening here. We'll take a look on that left front or right front suspension. That is my fault for miscalculating. That is a wheel disconnected from the hub. That wheel is not spinning, so that's a big damage defector there. Not sure what happened. We'll take a look here in time, but it looks like Lubbock is taking a bit more damage, so he's going to have to limp it back to the pit lane. There's some meatball that he's going to have to serve. Unfortunate to see. We're not sure why. We'll take a moment here just to get a look-see and figure out what just happened. We'll see just what happened to that car. Whoa, big moment there. Looked like from my perspective here. They're still with the warm tires. Is that where that damage occurred? It does look like it. It looks like he may have got a bit of contact with that barrier. See the tire spinning here up until the barrier, up until the second part of the chicane gets really close over the barrier. Boom! Big contact between the Corvette and the barrier out of the chicane. This chicane is a tricky one, not very easy to navigate. You really just got to hope and pray that you make it through 90% of the time. So he is now in the pit lane. Really unfortunate to see on the point of Lubbock. Still holding down third, looks like. So still on the podium, still got that damage. Looks like he took that fast repair. So we're going to see what he does with that. Just unfortunate to see, but that is Science Academy. That is Axel looking to pass, make him 2 laps down because of all that damage. Really unfortunate to see for Lubbock, but Lubbock still holding that third place, just like the number on that Corvette, third place, number 3. So still really good to hear for Lubbock to take home the most amount of points in the constructor standings here with such a powerful presence. Science Academy still wanting to hold that line here. 11.9 seconds between Ridgepoint and Science Academy. So if Ridgepoint does want to take the win and keep his hold over the standings here, it is going to be up to Science Academy to keep that, and then it's up to Ridgepoint to chase him down. Ridgepoint does have the fastest lap here, so Science Academy really going to have to fight to keep that gap and keep it held. You saw it all race. He's been doing a great job here. Maybe it's the Porsche, maybe it's the driver, maybe it's the track, maybe it's just some bad luck. 12.6 gap. 12.6 seconds of a gap now between the Ridgepoint and Science Academy car. So it is up to the green and up to the purple. So 2 sides of the same coin, 2 sides of the same car fighting for the lead here, fighting for contention of a win to stay atop of the driver standings, of the season standings. It is late in the series now, so it is up to these last couple of races to decide the victor. It's been all over the place. We've seen all kinds of different winners. We've seen Dylan, we've seen Axel, we've seen Marco, and we've even seen maybe some different finishers in the lead here. So we've seen all kinds of winners, but right now Ridgepoint is still leading, but just barely. Is all up to this race and the next 2 races to figure that out. I'll get you the schedule and I'll get you the season standings at the current moment for the Monday series round. That is correct. That is Dylan leading with 107 points. Marco in second. Axel Madrano in 83rd with 83 points. And then all the Lubbock cars leading right after. So they are getting the most for constructor standings. So it is up to these drivers to figure out who's going to win this Monday series race and who's going to win the Friday series race. It is between Axel and Dylan right now, first and third place in season standings for the Monday championship. Dylan still leads, so Dylan may still get a good amount of points being second. But right now, Science Academy is still going to take the most amount of points. Maybe he might jump over Marco because Marco is not present here. That is Ridgepoint now flashing what I believe to be that looks like Cy in the Corvette that he's looking to pass with those flashing lights. Bit of a blue flag to get waved at the Lubbock car. So we're going to see Rexy just pass him right by. That's Corvette running off. Not sure just what happened. Maybe just kind of giving him room, giving him a big amount of space, but keeping on the track. But getting out of the way, it is a bit of a trouble there on that uphill, that right-hander there. So maybe it's a smart move, maybe it's not. We're not sure. But that is up to the driver to figure that one out on track in the current moment. So Ridgepoint still holding second, 12.6 gaps, 12.6 seconds of a gap. I'm all over the place today. I can't talk. I've been mumbling over myself. We have 3 minutes left in this race. Science Academy still leads, Ridgepoint second, and Lubbock in the last 3 positions. So still, they're taking the most in the constructors. Science Academy at the moment with provisional pole, going to take home the most points. But Ridgepoint with second place and fastest lap is going to give them a big bump in the season standings. We may just see Science Academy jump just above Hebron High School, but it is going to be up to this driver from Science Academy, Mr. Axel, the go-kart racer, to chase down that lead, to take and topple the lead that Ridgepoint has built, being so present the last 3 races that he has won back-to-back Monday and Friday series. So it is up to them from Science Academy to try and chase down that win for the regular series. Before we go into the playoffs, we'll get a hold of the Friday championship right now. Friday championship looks like Matt from Lubbock holds the standings right now with 60 points. Kian in second with 53, Dylan in 50 points. So that is 2 Lubbock cars leading the pack in the Friday championship, with Ridgepoint holding third. Cy from Lubbock heading it off just below, or just tied with Dylan. So we have all 3 Lubbock cars in the podium at the moment, with Dylan tied for third with Cy. And then we have Science Academy, Mr. Axel Madrano in 5th, Marco in 6th, tied with Aaron Huerta. And we have Eden heading it off tied. We have a 3-way tie. I'm sorry. We have Marco, Aaron, and Eden Yao all tied for 6th place here. But that is Cy and Dylan tied for 3rd, and Axel Madrano sitting comfortably in 5th. So we'll see just how those standings change come this Friday. But as for Monday, it is still an open book. Just 1:16, just 1 lap left. All it takes is Science Academy to mess up this 1 lap, this last lap. White flag will be dropped either this lap or the next. So we'll see just what happens. I believe it's going to be next lap that white flag is dropped, so this is 2 to go. We'll put you on board with Science Academy, just get you comfortable, get you a sound of what this driver from Science Academy is hearing in that Porsche. You heard it before with the Ridgepoint car, but we'll leave you on and give you a little bit of a last second lap here to get you comfortable, give you what the leader's going through on this last lap to a comfortable victory. Rounding the last corner in just a second here in that number 43 Porsche TexSEF iRacing machine. All these drivers, I applaud you. I give you all the thanks and all the proudness that I can muster, because it takes something to show up every week, no matter the outcome, and sit down and race, to put in all the practice, put in all the time, sit down and represent your school the way that these guys do. Nobody else does it like these guys. Nobody is out there racing like these guys. There is no other kind of racing like this. These may be very common cars to see in the racing world, but it is not a common kind of driving style that these drivers take. So we're going to put you on board, give you the white flag run here for the last lap, and we'll be right back with you. that is race end. That is the win for Science Academy, taking home the victory here. First victory in a little while, so that is big news for Science Academy. Big news for Ridgepoint to take home second with the fastest lap here. So that is big points going for Ridgepoint. Big points for Science Academy and big points for Lubbock here. Just coming up to the penultimate corner here. Running a little wide here. Just barely keeping it off the grass. And that is race end. That is the last of the cars passing the line here in just a moment here. So we'll be right back with you as we get a hold of our victors here, and we'll be giving them an interview. So we'll be right back. I'm your host, Wesley Shaw. Don't worry, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. We have the third place finisher here. We have Cy from Lubbock High School. Cy, you got a copy, man? All right. So, Cy, you placed third in the Corvette, my favorite GT3 car. So I'm really proud of you for making the right choice there in the GT3 selection. You finished third. Really good. Really congratulates on you for finishing third. You started second, but you dropped down to third because of that first lap run there. How comfortable were you in this car today?
Man, this car's super easy to drive, just I wasn't putting it together like I should have today.
That's okay. These cars are not the easiest to wrangle. They are very tough cars to handle, especially around here at Oulton. So props to you for being able to hold it as much as you could, especially around these very long, sweeping British corners here. Last week we were here in the F1600s. How different are these cars compared to those little Formula Fords we were racing?
Personally, I like I think the GT3s feel a lot more planted than those little formulas, but that's just me. I'm not sure how the other guys feel, but I like the GT3s more. I think they're just more fun, more powerful experience to drive.
I do tend to agree with you there. They are a lot more powerful, and there is a lot more downforce underway of these cars. A lot more fun to have. You see, like on those cars, you have the giant wings, you have a bunch of the underbody, you have winglets, and you have a whole bunch of other stuff that's making these cars go faster rather than having a just basically a fun little go kart on kind of a four-stroke motor there. So really, you're a part of Lubbock High School. You, Kian, and Matt all a part of Lubbock. Y'all are the three most prominent drivers. You show up every single week, no matter who's here, no matter what's going on. Y'all are here. So right now, y'all are kind of leading in the constructor standings. So props to you on that one for y'all showing up as much as y'all do. Love that y'all do and being able to support and show up as a Westerner. I've never been to Lubbock. I hear it's for a lot of fun. There's Texas Tech out there. But let's see. I believe you are a sophomore, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so you have 2 more years with us. You got any plans after high school? You going to college or?
I'm planning on being an electrician
Ooh, that's a very big jump here to go to wiring. I'm gonna guess, are you gonna do residential or are you looking to do commercial?
or commercial.
Ooh, so you're gonna be doing all the big buildings, all the hospitals, and all kinds of big places like that. Well, Cy, we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna let you go celebrate that third place finish here at Oulton, and we'll see you on Friday.
Yes, sir.
That was the third place finisher from Lubbock High School. We'll be right back as we grab a hold of the second place finisher, Mr. Dillon.
Hello. Yes, sir.
We're back. We have the second place finisher. We have the driver of the purple Rexy Porsche from Ridgepoint Academy. Dylan, you got a copy?
Here I am.
All right. So, Dylan, you started third. You finished second. You jumped right on top of that Lubbock car, the Corvette, then held it down as strong as you could. I saw you trying to chase down that Science Academy car. What was it going through your head on what happened between you and that Science Academy car?
I felt like Lightning McQueen when he tried to overtake the faster car in the third movie, and then he just spun. I felt like that.
That is definitely a callback. That is a reference of all time. I'm kind of shocked that I got that, being as an unk as I am. I maybe only be 20 in my third year in college, but hey, I felt that one. So Dylan, you finished second. You got second. I believe that's going to put you still comfortably in the lead here, but that is going to be chasing down right on your tail is the Science Academy car. What's going to be your process going into next week, being the leader, trying to defend that?
Well, if I'm first or second, I'll be okay because like it's only 4 points difference. I'm right now leading with 20 points ahead, so I'm trying to just keep it consistent. And yeah, I'll probably just finish first or second. I hope it's first this time because I was getting faster than Axel. The thing is that I went off track. I counted them. It was 16 times, so that's how I lost like 12 seconds from him.
Hey, consistency is key, and these cars aren't the easiest to wrangle and handle around, especially a track such as Oulton. These long sweeping corners, trying to keep that foot to the floor is not always the easiest thing to do with all this downforce fighting you, and even with stuff on the track like all this dirt that's been thrown up today. So, Dylan, at what point did you know that you're just going to have to be comfortable in second and take home, especially with ripping away the fastest lap away from Science Academy?
I just knew when I went off track and lost like 2 seconds. I thought that was like the place where I was cooked. I was not gonna win, but I still could get second place and try to my best to catch him down. It can happen, so it's fine. I'm okay with second place.
Hey, second place is always a good place to be. It's on the podium. You're second to first. So I know you're a senior. This is your last season with us. I believe it's your second season with us as well at that. So second season last season. I feel you on that one. Back when I first started TexSEF iRacing, I only got to race for the year because I was a senior and then I graduated. So I feel you on that one. But you've been sim racing since you were 7 years old. You kind of make me, you kind of look like a mirror of me. I've been sim racing since I was seven. And with this being your last season with us, what's your plans for the future?
I'll probably join a college league, and I'll try to get famous. Maybe post some videos. And my hopes and dreams are just to get involved in real life racing. Maybe I don't know, run Daytona 24 at least once, or in the Miatas, like the 95 car with the Lightning McQueen one. That was very cool, and I want to be one of those. So I don't know, maybe even get into NASCAR if it's easier. I don't know. I just hope I do it.
Well, man, you sound like a spitting image of me at this point. I'm a collegiate iRacer myself, so I can definitely get your foot in the door on that one. But Dylan, we're going to let you take home the second place, get comfortable with your lead here, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right. Bye.
That was the second place finisher from Ridgepoint. So we're going to get a hold of the race winner, Science Academy, Axel, and we'll be right back with you. We're back. We have the race winner. We have Science Academy, Mr. Axel. Axel, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Axel, you won. You started in second. You jumped the leader there right off, or actually you started first. I'm sorry. You started first. You finished first. That was a really dominant performance from yourself as a representative of Science Academy. How do you feel?
Exhausted.
Exhausted.
He was the whole time. I couldn't like focus, or I couldn't stay not focused. And normally, like halfway in the race, I like look in my pit window, see what I have to do. But the whole time, I had to like just there focusing on each corner and didn't hot on my tail. It was quite a run.
Absolutely. This track isn't the easiest to do, especially in these GT3 cars. So it's been a wrangling all week long, just like last week in those Formula Fords. But actually, you're third. You were third in the season standings at the current moment. Marco just above you, so I believe you're going to jump him after this race, after the season points are dished out. And
Yes.
you're going to have to slowly chase down Ridgepoint if you want that regular series championship going into Undisputed. How do you feel about the win?
Pretty good. It's pretty good to come back on the top step, It's been a quite a long while.
It has been a very long while. We haven't seen you with the win in a little bit since Dylan's been taken over, winning 3 races back to back. So that's unfortunate to hear for Science Academy. But hey, you took that go-kart camp when you were 10, so you've been able to use that racing background to get a comfortable lead with these cars. These cars definitely feel like go-karts in a way with all this downforce and all this power. But Axel, I'm going to ask you this one question. I only ask the winners. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is there anybody you want to shout out, anybody you want to thank or congratulate on your win today?
I like to thank Mr. Marco. One of the second person I look up to really. The whole last year during state, it was my competition, and now I'm gonna try making my goal to beat him.
All right. Well, Axel, we're going to let you take home that win, savor it, and we'll see you on Friday where we will see you win maybe again in these GT3s.
Yes.
That was the race winner there, Mr. Axel from Science Academy. So we're going to see just what happens there as a part of the Science Academy cars, and we'll see you just here in a second as I can try and get a hold of what's going on here. I'm not sure what's with my music going on here, so we'll see if I can. There we go. See if I can get the music fixed here. We're not sure what's going on. There it is. All right, so just to finish off here in the last closing moments, as a part of the TexSEF iRacing League, if you aren't aware, this is the third from last week, round 6, I believe. Round 5, round 6, somewhere in there. Round 6. It is round 6. I'm sorry. We're getting a little jumbled here, but looking at the schedule for the future, we have round 6 in the Friday series coming up. Same car, same time, same track, same place. Check it out, TexSEF1 on Twitch, and we will see you for next week. After that, we're going back to Short Track Showdown, back to short track racing with a bit of a quarter-mile run here at South Boston Speedway in the Street Stocks, and the last week, the last race of the regular seasons, where we will crown a regular season champion before going to Undisputed, the TexSEF playoffs. That is right, you'll see us live in Waco for TexSEF Undisputed. So on the last week's Summit Point Raceway in the GT3s, starting and finishing in the GT3s, these drivers have been absolutely comfortable getting it known in these GT3s. So we'll see just what happens here in the last couple of weeks, and we'll see you here at the same time, same bat place, same bat channel. Check us out here at TexSEF1 on Twitch. And we'll see you.